Surprise, we're starting a little bit early. So let's get started on this What's in My Drawers golf talk next. Well, works better that way. Welcome to What's in My Drawers golf talk. Only 2 days left. Why is it called What's in My Drawers? Because old club makers and club fitters, including Santa ones, are tremendous pack rats, and I'm no different. It's about what was in my drawers in the shop, and it's all about where our scores can go low because of golf club reviews, golf club repairs, and golf club fittings. And that's the kind of stuff that we're going to talk about right here. Look at this. How many people can say they're going to put their ball in their apron? All righty, here we go. So a couple things. Number one, we saw the PNC and went into overtime with the Woods clan, and the Langer clan, and the Langer clan came out on top in overtime, and it was actually quite fun to watch. I didn't care who won. I just thought it was a lot of fun to watch who was playing, and just it was actually some pretty decent golf even for the kids. And and it was funny that Langer's son, we saw the stat, and he's won a couple of times now with both boys. And so that's kind of cool. And Charlie got himself a hole in one. So congrats to him. I just wondered how much that set him back at there with all those people. That ought to have been something. Good thing Dad's a billionaire. All righty. So we did get a set accomplished and finished, but I did not get the pictures up, so we will have to, I don't know if I wanted to show Charlie or not.
I saw the picture.
Yeah, so Charlie got the picture. So what it is what we did was we finished Charlie's irons, and they were the Wilson CBs, and we did we put the vibration dampener in there, which you guys saw Sunday, and that was his set, and they turned out pretty good. Let's see if you can see that. Nope, he can't see it because it's so freaking bright. So much for that. And anyway, they actually turned out really good. Charlie picking that gold ferrule was the right choice. I think it looks a lot better with all the way that was set up, and it was a very, very good choice, and that she picked. And anyway, there's a couple extra things in there, so for you to try. So don't grab your box of irons and throw them to the ground, if you know what I mean. Okay, and there's a note in there for you too. So again, thanks. We also are about 3/4 of the way through fixing a set of Vice irons that were actually ordered from Germany. A golfer from Kentucky wanted a set of these irons, and they came in too short. So we did a loft and lie, and we did a fitting, and we figured out the right length and the lie angle. Now these Vice irons, they really look like blades. They're a forged club, but they're big. The face is big, and yeah, if you want to get one. And the thing is, you would think it said, oh, this is a blade through and through. Well, it's not. It's got a hole on the toe of the club that is a telltale sign that it's a hollow body, because that's where you would throw your iguana spit or your speed foam or whatever you wanted to call it in there in order to make that work. Now and I really am taken back. Here we go. And I'm really taken back. This is big. I mean, this is really big, and it's brand spanking new. And I mean, it's dirty, but it's new, and it has very little offset on it. It has a very, 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 very killed leading edge, and the sole's a little wider. So what this has made, much like other hollow bodies, is something that looks really cool in the bag, a little more forgiving. Now, this one, if you notice, the hollow part of it is down here, where the forged part of it is right there. and there was that hole I was telling you about. And so there's just only so much forgiveness that's going to be in this club. So there's, I'd say, medium to low offset on it. So you really, really have to be a slightly better ball striker, I would think, in order to get it, even with the bigger face. The golfer's a pretty good ball striker. I think he's going to like what he's getting here as soon as we we got to cut him down and then re-grip him. We were able to blow the grips off, and so now we're going to have to build him up because he's got larger hands, and then put these, then they're Vice, I think they're Lampkins with the Vice logo on it, and put it back. So hopefully when it's all said and done, he is going to be happy with a brand new set of custom irons with very minimal customizing. So there we go with that one. Also, this is probably the most perfect pores to pars thing I've ever seen. That a representative from TaylorMade brought me, and it is a Muirfield Golf Village, and it's from 74 to 24. And if you do the math, that's a 50-year thing. So what happens is you open up the box. I got to be very, very careful here because things are running loose in there, and then I'll show you here in a second. But when you open it up, I'm gonna have to move this. Of course, I don't have the cord correct. Fine. Anyway, when you get there, you get to see this picture. This is one awkward box. There. You get that, and that's Jack and a couple guys that helped start Muirfield. And if you read it, it says home of the Memorial Tournament, Jack Nicklaus Collegiate Invitational, 86 Junior Amateur, 87 Ryder Cup, 92 Amateur, 98 Solheim, 2013 President's Cup, and the Barbara Nicklaus Invitational. And when this was established, a golf course designed by the most successful champion. Now, what's in here? Well, what you get is a couple of glasses, and they have the Muirfield logo on it. And that's the way this thing came, was one here, and one here. But it's missing something, only because it was rattling around. And it was this guy right here, a maker's mark. And so it was sitting in here. So it looks like that. It looks pretty cool. The unfortunate part is they relabeled it. It's still the same batch. It has the same information, just the label and the it was a tournament bottle. There was a tournament bottle that they labeled for the anniversary. So it's a twofer. I either have a mistake bottle, which would make it even better, or I have a redone bottle. So pretty cool. So I'm going to set this off to the side. Give me a second. Okay. So that was a really neat. We had a really good discussion with the TaylorMade guys, and let me put this in here in proper Santa fashion. Here we go. No, that's not going to work. Okay, in proper Santa fashion. Anyway, it was a neat little, as a token after a visit. Guy is very, very nice, and we're working. I got to see the new stuff from TaylorMade. It's under an embargo, so all I can tell you is that they're going to have the competitor for the smoke iron, or what's going to be called the elite iron, going forward. And then they're going to have their forged products. They're, the P790s, and I believe it's a 770. And again, they're going to be more of the same. A bit of a tweak on a little bit of the face thicknesses, but I don't think that the lofts are getting any stronger. And they went to a different shaft for their offerings. So just tweaks we're seeing now. The Q10, I believe, is getting a facelift as well, and they're going more towards the when they had that carbon face. I think they're going away from that to an extent and more towards where they're a forged carbon body and then a different face in it. But more of that to come when it shows up. Needless to say, we'll be looking at a lot of that. And then we've got the then we've been looking at started looking at the vendors for the PGA show, and a lot of the same people are going to be there. Although I did see today we're going to have Callaway is going to be there, Mizuno is going to be there, Strix on Cleveland is going to be there, and Titleist is going to be there. I think Ping is going to be there. I'm not quite certain on that one. Some shaft companies, Nippon and Graphite Design for sure. I thought an Altura was going to be there, and I could have sworn that was who it was, but I haven't seen him yet. And there's another bit of an upstart. Oh, and Yonex is going to be there. And then a couple of Jumbo Max is going to be there. And trying to think, there's a couple of newer companies that nobody's truly heard of yet. And then and we'll get through from there, and then US Kids. So it's always interesting to see what the new products are going to be. So we're still planning that and planning the videos around it. And as I don't know if I said it earlier, but thanks to Sherry at the PGA show, I believe we are the first people to have a dual badge in order to go out there as a business owner and an influencer. So it should be kind of fun. Okay. One last thing for all of you guys are out there. I own a 2017 Silverado, and I just got back from the body shop because one of the light fixtures decided not to cooperate. And boy, oh boy, the light fixtures cost a bit. But the folks that were on there did me a fine job. They got it put together, straightened everything out. Looks great. So I'm glad to have my truck back.
And a former customer.
Oh, and the guy's a former customer too. So, hey. And it was funny that a body shop, they absolutely detailed the inside of the truck, but not the outside.
They're afraid to touch outside.
I guess so. All right, so let's get to questions. All right, here we go. All right, golf present of the year. My son got me a golf club donut, a little circular weight that goes on the club. Funny, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Same to you, Matt. I think that's kind of funny that he would give you that one, too. I'm surprised you didn't get one with that big old fan on the end of it, but that's hard to tote around. Good for you. And truly, everybody, Merry Christmas. And if we don't see you before then, although we will, Happy New Year. And we'll go from there. And Charlie, this is the finishing touches on some Weller Antique 107, and that's what's on my Instagram post for the day, or the Facebook posts for the day is the Weller. So if you wanted to see it a little bit better, go over there and you hit the like button over there as well. And thank you. All righty. So is everybody ready for Christmas? You only got 2 whole days. I imagine the only way you're going to get something is if you overnight it, which will cost you a fortune, or you're a Prime member and you ordered it yesterday, or you live in a very nice town and you can go out and just go get it. So hopefully you got it all done. There's Charlie. Merry Christmas to you too, sir.
Did you say Merry Christmas to Wayne?
I did. Merry Christmas to you too, Wayne. Rodman told me to say that. All righty. He says, Matt, he got you the donut so you could practice your swing knowing that you haven't played much this year. And that's kind of true. It's kind of true indeed. All righty. Charlie, hi. All righty. Let's do this again. My dog Rex beat me to it. If you guys would like and subscribe, let's grow up. We actually did pretty good with our subscribership in the last month. And that's what happens when you put out more videos. And so I like that.
That's when you watch them.
Yeah, that too. But that's the monies. That's not the subscribers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I go for the money.
Uh-huh. So Phil K says, hi from Austin. Merry Christmas. Not done shopping yet. We'll brave traffic one more time. You are a brave soul in Austin, dude. I was there in summertime visiting some relatives. It wasn't too bad, honestly. We were on the eastern side, so I don't think we were in the thick of it as like most people would have been. Oh, look at here. And we got to say happy anniversary to Matt and Sally, Mrs. Matt, and Merry Christmas to everybody. So give out Matt a shout out. Stephen is in Tennessee. Winter's there. Got into the 20s on the weekend, no golf. However, next 2 days will be in the 50s, low 60s, so they'll be there. And same here, except for I think it's projected to have some rain. Possibly. Now, the day after Christmas, Mrs. McGolf and I are taking off to complete the last bit of the Kentucky Trail, Kentucky Bourbon Trail, and it's supposed to be into the 50s and or 60s. And we're kind of torn because we've been in this cold, whether or not we're going to wear shorts or we're going to wear pants or what we're going to wear. and a raincoat. Ron saying hi. Steven say, click the like button, everybody. Appreciate that. High today was less than 30 degrees when I woke up. It was 4. Ooh wee, Charlie. That's a wee bit chilly, buddy. Hopefully you stayed inside. Robin says, thank you to my dog Rex. So does everybody everybody out there that's affiliated with either a golf course or working, do you guys have Christmas parties? Do they have those kinds of things around here? The other business I work with had one. It turned out to looked pretty nice. I didn't go, but it looked to be very nice. Today we took in. I stopped at Sam's Club and we took in. They have those big trays of. These were breakfast cakes, I guess, and I got a couple of shifts of firemen. I gave them one, and then another shift of my superintendents, and I gave them one. So they've got enough eats for the weekend. So we're good to go there. Terry says that you are more than welcome, Charlie. I wanted to do it. You can't open the envelope until you open up the other ones, and then let me know what you think. I'm saying there. Oh man, they were on. Everything is within one swing weight point, Charlie. One swing weight point. So whether you find the heavy one in there or not, I have no idea. But everything was within one swing weight point. And the frequencies were dead on except for one. And so pretty good. Pretty good indeed. He says, so Vice golf balls are making clubs too. Yeah, and of course the golfer asked me, what do I think? And being how it's a right-hand club, I don't know if they make a left-handed one. Chances are, because I didn't go look into it any more than that, that they don't, but it's hard to say. And, but also I just went on the characteristics that they were giving me. Yeah, but it's they're trying to get into that direct to consumer clan as well. Well, as we talk about, answer again, the Antique 107. Here. This is what the picture was doing right there. But we had another bottle that only had a little bit left. That's what this is right here. Okay. Robin's back to the old standard. All right. Andrew says, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Same to you, sir. Appreciate it. Is it age 50 years? No, I wish. It was bottled in April of this year, and Maker's Mark makes a point not to age date anything. They put things to flavor or taste, not to age. So it's really hard to see or tell what goes out is. Now they did one here not too long ago. It was a 12-year. That was a 12-year, and it went, and people just really, the minute it hit, they bought it. And I saw another video by Fred Minnick, who's a big buddy of the people at Maker's Mark, and the guy showed up with a 14-year-old barrel, and he wanted to prove to the guys at Maker's Mark that the age did matter, and he ended up selling the barrel for $95,000. So I don't know what that makes each bottle if you had 200, but that's a lot of money for a bottle. That jumped way outside my price range in a hurry. All right, Andrew, got the Jumbo Max Zen Lights in medium. Hit all my club's awesomes for 5 to 6 rounds. Now I can't close the face. Have you seen this before? Well, it happened to me, Andrew. I played a whole entire year, and it just, I was hitting the crap out of it, and then all of a sudden I just lost my feel in the club. Now, what that is, in my opinion, what that is, that's something that probably would have happened no matter what, because as you go through the year, your swing tends to change ever so slightly, particularly if we're not practicing like me. And so what I would recommend, honestly, is just set them off to the side for about a week or two and just forget about them. Practice your putting, practice some chipping or whatever, and then bring it back in. Because now what you are focused on is the one thing of not bringing the club in closed or on square, and now you're going to manipulate everything in your swing to make that happen, and you're going to hit these diggers. And it's just going to go the other way, and your body is going to react to all those changes that you're making to prevent you from getting out of shape when you already know where you need to be. So the best thing to do is just basically a reset. Set it down for a bit. It's particularly if you're from around here and or it's cold. Give them a few and then go out and play. All right. Do you know about the new Ping 440 irons? I do not. I'm not much of a Ping guy. I like the Ping company, but the representative for the state lives about an hour to hour and a half to the north, and I don't get to see him. He doesn't. They just don't come down this way because there's no dealers in this neck of the woods. Andrew says I currently play the Ping Chrome Tour 2.0 tipped 1 inch to play extra stiff. I want to experiment with a lighter shaft. Any recommendations? Yep, I do have one. One that you can go to is I would try if you just want a really good feeling shaft and you wanted to try something a little lighter, I would go with the Graphite Design Tour AD. It's the orange one, and it does come in a black if you don't like orange. That one's for the average swinger. Now, if you hit the ball very high and you don't want to, then I would recommend the XC variety. The XC will not put the ball in the air. I am proof positive of that. I hit an air ball and I put that in there, and it's a beastie. So I would try those two. All right, Peter, what do you say, buddy? And Myrtle Beach and Anna would like to wish both of us a inglorious Merry Christmas and happiest New Year. Will you tell Anna thank you very much as well, Peter, and same to you, sir. Hopefully you get to this. Is the sun flying in, or is he enjoying himself out there too much? Oh, and a new grandbaby. Jim Anderson, good evening, Jim and Robin. We're not ready for Christmas yet. We'll just dodge along, one day left. There we go. At least I was waiting to see if we had it. We have 2 last minuters out there. That's cool. Always want to see, because it's always like, hey, look at what we got here. And there's Miss McGolf talking back. All right. If you need a great pullover for windy winter golf, check out AFCTO Reaper Windproof Pullover with a built-in mask for the nose. Now, what? What is AFCTO? Miss McGolf is looking it up right now. We're going to have to take a look at that one. Even if it's not for winter golf, I like the fact that it's a pullover with a built-in mask. Mm-hmm. I could use some of that when we do emergency responses. You're standing out there in every kind of environment, and I'm always looking for something new. Oh, okay. I'm looking at it, what it says. There we go. Very cool. Like that. Good idea. Good idea. Thanks, Robin. Have a great time. We will. I think we'll have a good one. There's John. Evening, folks. My work Xmas party is a 5-day event. Ooh, wow. I like his idea of a Christmas party. I like that one. Not too bad. Particularly food. Oh well, yeah. At work, at the other work, they just before going on, they have to give up 2 days for Christmas. They get Christmas Eve and Christmas off, and the whole week prior to there was trays of cookies and all the whatnots that come with Christmas, plus then regular meals. It's like, oh my goodness, had to go walk around just to wear it out. I'm guessing the GW is the heaviest as they usually are, but you could be wrong. In this particular instance, Charlie, you would be. However, with one swing weight point, if you feel it, I will be shocked and amazed because they all felt pretty good to me. And you know what? I wasn't a real big fan of that Tour Velvet as a grip as a whole, but I like that one. I do. I like that one. It was very tacky. I like the way that it felt. I like the way that it was grippy just from the get go. I was really impressed with it. Only if you send it back full of something else. There you go. There, here you go. Hey, Gabby's in. That's my sister. My other sister is in here. So Gabby, if you go to the Facebook's got it and the Instagram's got it. I gave Jeff a nod for hooking me up with the antique bottle, so there you go. He's not only the Blanton's Whisperer, he's also the Antique Whisperer now. Mark Pad, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's. Will you be putting out bourbon and shrimp tray for Santa? That's what he likes at my house. Nice idea. Nice idea. I'm not so certain about the shrimp part of it, but I'm thinking a couple of pours of something ought to be doing it. Matter of fact, I've been doing this whole Advent, where it's 25 days, and I got on the very last day is literally the most. I'm thinking, you know what? Do we want to do it on Christmas Eve though?
This is Christmas Eve.
No, when we do.
Tomorrow's Christmas Eve. You mean New Year's Eve?
No, because tomorrow's the 24th. 25 days of the Advent. But we'd want to do the bottle that we selected last to go on Christmas Eve.
That wasn't the plan.
I know, but that sounds more appropriate. Anyway, go look. It'll be the most appropriate 25th bottle out there ever. All righty. There's the FTACO. Yep, we found her, buddy. Are there any self-tests to determine if you are best served by face balance or toe hung putter blade versus mallet? Just going out there and trying them. What you could really do, Mike, is have somebody look at the putting stroke, or have somebody take a video of your putting stroke straight down. All right. And wide view it as much as you can and see what's going on. If you're very straight back and straightforward, really straight back and straightforward, face balance. If you are straight back, but the club opens up a lot, or opens up to where you're noticing it and it goes back the other way, then it would be the toe hangy stuff. Now, the other part is if you're going the very, very other end of the spectrum where it opens and flops open, you'll have an arc path. If you have an arc path, then an Anzer style or something along that line certainly will be the way to go, versus the other stuff. American Fish and Tackle Company. There we go. She found out. I like the look of it. It's pretty cool. And it came in the color that Mrs. McGolf likes right there on the front for women. Oh, you did too. All right. 5 days. Is that a 4-day workup to get to the main event? Yeah, no doubt. That's a lot of time. All righty. Tour Velvet seems to go well with the TT shaft, at least for my hands and feel. I'm not going to disagree, Charlie. I think it was a good combination. I think it is probably one of the most classic looks out there, uh, as far as golf clubs look. I mean, it's got that traditional golf club look, and we put the Tour Velvets on it. It just keeps going more classic. And then you add that the shaft label on the back is black and gold, and it all just married up, and it just looks really, really good. And look, there's Robin talking back, as she always does. All righty, bourbon and barbecue, Mark. Yeah, that's what it is. I didn't think I would like Maker's Mark, and I found out later it was a wheated bourbon, and it turns out I do enjoy some. I don't like the regular one, but that 46 is really nice, and then their private selection, I like those as well. And all they are is specially picked. So if I find a good one, there you go. But they're good. Mark Patton, yes. No, Charles, it's a 5-day party. Yahoo! Mr. McGough saying hit that thumbs up to everybody. I need to head out. It was a good Catch Your Live show. It's been hard to leave work on time. Merry Christmas. Hey, you too, buddy. Be careful going to work. And he's saying thank you joining. So, as far as we're starting to see a bit of a, with the cooler temperatures, we always get to see a bit of a slowdown. However, Mrs. McGolf is now we're starting to schedule fittings into the middle of January now. So that's a pretty neat concept. And then we're going to be going to the PGA show, which should be a pretty cool time. We're going to drive down and see some family. That's going to be a good time for coming back. And we still haven't quite figured out the schedule just yet, because you got to hear back from the vendors and whatnot. And but the Acra Day and the Demo Day, that's going to be something else, I believe. It'll be a ton of fun, and a lot of information to be gathered. So we really hope to get a jump on the year. And if everything, from what I've seen so far, will be the stronger irons will be all the rage this year. There'll be some new drivers. Will there be huge market improvements? Probably not. Although a couple of sleepers out there, I would say you got to watch out for the Wilson Golf Club. I think that new Wilson driver very well may be maybe, I won't say it's a contender because I haven't hit it, but if you go on looks, it's right in there with the rest of them. So uh, I'd say that'll be pretty good. And then we'll talk about. I'm not seeing so much in the year of the wedge because the Opus came out already, and we're starting to see a lot of folks, changed over. Mizuno changed over, and I have yet to see some of their stuff yet. We'll probably see it at the show. And but it could be, short game tactics. Although we're also could be the year of putters. The zero torque putter thing has just taken hold, and that's just on a few of the companies. But I also saw where Muirfield is releasing some taller putters. They got what we call a belly putter, or a very short broomstick. They got a new arm lock, and they're using the Garson grip in order to make that go. So we're seeing a lot of changes, and of course, there's always a couple of new putter companies that are coming out. So that'll be fun to see and check them out. There's Mark. I'm all in. There you go. There's my cousin. Hey, Teresa, how you doing? She's down in Florida and tuning in. And then he says, "Hello, Robin. Hope you have a great Christmas and a good drink starting the new year out. Of that, you can be sure. We're going to be in Cincinnati for the new year, celebrating 41 years of absolute bliss."
Being funny?
Yes, I am. And 41 years. So we'll have some good stories for the next Monday. Is next Monday going to be
New Year's gonna be the
day before New Year's Eve? So we're going to have maybe we'll have some more stuff to talk about back then. So I've got down to the end. Anybody else got any questions? That is a new record right there. Got down to the end. We're talking about all these different things. Oh, I can tell you about the fitting. So the fellow that we were doing the fitting for to figure out the right length, he was not using much of his lower body, and he was swinging as a guy that works on a lot of cars would do, with very strong upper body, and was and it was just pushing the living daylights out of the ball, and couldn't figure out why. Well, it was because he wasn't making his turn, and we went over and we talked about on the video, or on the launch monitor, what was going on and why it's important to do what we needed him to go do. And I showed him, a bit of a trick to get into the turn. And as soon as he started making this turn and extending out again, he literally gained an entire club. And he went, just from hitting golf shots from here, and his average golf shot was about 160-ish. And when we got him all said and done, he was hitting out into the 180s. And he only picked up maybe 1 or 2 mile an hour in speed. It was all about being able to get into the face, because when you use your entire upper body, you have no choice but to cut across the ball. And when you cut across the ball, that makes the bat short or the club short, and you're always out onto the toe. And when you get out onto the toe, it's pretty hard to hit a quality golf shot. So once we got him making the turn and he got to an extending, he found the middle of the club face, and it stopped pushing and it went further, and we got him out there. So that's the whole idea of the fitting, is basically a really nice way of, he didn't need a whole lot of change in his gear other than some length and maybe some line angle changes. But the rest of it was pretty doggone close. It was a heck of a good guess. And then you can walk back out there and be confident and make some confident swings, and away you go. So yeah, we like that one a lot. Hey, look at that. I ask and I shall receive. Dan, make it on. What do you say, Dan? Merry Christmas to you. Charlie says, the other Charlie Woods, made his first hole in one. His dad just said to him he had to buy the round for everybody. Did you hear what he said back, Charlie? Said he was broke. I wonder what kind of allowance a kid like that gets. That would be something. Robin saying hi back. Oh, here we go. Dan says we won our December simulator season championship. I got many compliments on the new wedges. Well, good deal. Glad you liked them. And there's Robin talking back to Cuz and telling Dan congratulations. Enjoy your trip on the trail. May you find some new treasures. We're kind of hoping. One of the big ones we're kind of anxious to see is Green River. They've made quite the turnaround. Very first stop is going to be Boundary Oak, which has it's really close to the Patton Museum. So there's a Patton themed bottle over there. We'll see what that's all about first. We'll go from there. The rest of it is a lot of history to go find out, a lot of stories to listen to. It ought to be a lot of fun. There's Dan saying thing.
With my favorite person.
Because I'm with my favorite person. One thing I think noticed on simulators, they seem to have a favor teeing it low with drivers. It's probably because, Dan, it's not probably catching all the spin. And when you tee it down a little bit, you tend to take some spin off of it. And it all depends on what they use to track it on the simulators. Some will use cameras, some use laser walls, some use the stuff from behind. It's really, really hard to tell. And also, it could also be when you're actually teeing in the ground that you're teeing into a grass height, albeit not very high, but you have grass about yay high, and then you're basing your tee height on from the top of the grass. Well, now when you're in the simulator, a lot of that box does not give, and it'd be like hitting like right off of hard pan to an extent, and that could be that one as well. There's several different reasons, but hey, if it's working for you, I'd take it all day long. Okay. Hey, Patrick Barman. Unable to join many live streams, but catch up when possible and appreciate McGolf more than ever. Your contacts helped me to go from zero to semi-amateur. Well, good for you, man. Glad to see it's working. That's the whole idea here, right? And have some fun and enjoying a hobby that could quite possibly consume you. So take it in small steps, unlike what I did, and never, ever, ever stop learning. That is really the big key here. Never stop learning. Whether it is learning about golf shafts and techniques, or golf balls and how they're made and what produces spin, to the different techniques to working on golf clubs.
And I wouldn't have come this far without her.
Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Appreciate you both. Wishing you both a terrific 2025. There you go. See, wishing you a terrific 2025.
You get to say nice things about me.
I say nice things about you all the time without you putting it in my mouth. You ever seen one of those sock puppets? It's like that right now. So, hey, Jesse Ross. Oh, yeah, that's why I would go on the trail, not for the bourbon, but for the history. Oh, no. Although you have to admit the stories of these places, I mean, some of them go back to the Revolutionary War, Civil War, and some of them go back as far as just a couple years ago. But the history on some of these things, and I'm always wondering about just how these people came up with this idea. And the more you listen to it, is like back in the day, it was like every farmer did it. Well, how did every farmer figure that part out? That's just what gets me, the farmer mentality on how to survive. It's pretty cool. We got Barry Hill, howdy from Rockport, Texas. He's hitting some JPX 900s. Okay. And some Project X LZ 5.5s. What would you recommend for my new 245s? I would like more weight. Really?
More height.
Oh, more height. I'm glad you said that. More height.
Yeah.
Definitely not the LZ 115s. Now, keep in mind, Barry, that the 245s actually can get the ball in the air pretty decent. But if you're looking for a hair more kick, and you like to stay in that same weight range, there's a couple of things you could do. Number one, I would consider the Modus 120 in whatever flex that you want. The 5.5, I'd probably go with the R. Now, it says 120, and everybody would think that, oh, it's 120 grams. It's not. It's actually lighter. And it'd be very, very close to the LZs. That's in steel. Okay. If you were going to go into graphite, now, if you really, really wanted to get it up in the air and you wanted to lighten the load a little bit, the Nippon Neo 950s in the appropriate flex, that would certainly help you out a lot. That would make it happen. But however, I would also look at a couple other ones. Number one, the VRTX from Project X, but it's mostly a Clubmaker shaft. And then the other one I would also consider is the KBS PGI, P as in Paul, and give those guys a look as well. I agree, bourbon. Yeah, we'll see. And that's the funny part is I've been getting asked, "What's your favorite?" I still don't have one yet. I don't think. I think I do. I got a couple. So Barry, going back to the 245s, I really like the 245s to be honest with you. One of my favorites. They're a little bit thin, which is the reason the thin in the sole, which is what I like because I'm not much of a divot taker. Um, uh, and that's another one we were talking about earlier, the hollow bodies, where it looks really cool sitting in the bag, but that club will be far and away more forgiving, even with the Mizuno Pro tagline on it, will be far more forgiving than this Vice that we're we're working on currently right now. But I mean, if you're really trying to get it up in the air and you're looking to use the shaft, a couple of things like we talked about, the Mizuno 120 or the Neo 950 can certainly help depending on what weight that you like. The other one is, and it's not very well looked upon in a lot of cases, depending on what you want for what you want is you could actually weaken your loft by a degree. Now, it's not going to be a huge distance changer. You will be a tad shorter by definition, but if you can get it up in the air and it travels further, you might equal it out and you get best of both worlds. You can try that. Mrs. McGolf saying hello. Barry saying thank you and Merry Christmas. Same to you, sir. Make sure you come back and tell us how that worked out. They're all your favorites. There you go. There you go. They could be. Some of them very much are. I do. That's the reason, and that's another reason for going on these trips is to see which ones that you like, because most places don't serve just one; they have several, and nobody's going to like every one of them. I don't think so. Get what you like, right? Get what you like. All righty. Huh? Done. All right, we got to a quarter after. We made it 45 minutes now. We started 2 minutes early, so hey, we can get 45 minutes. Guys, I appreciate it. And that fact that you're sticking around here this long with me. You got a few more days in order to get that last minute awesome Christmas gift for whoever you're searching for. And honestly, be careful when you get out there. Don't go crazy driving around like some of the other fools are going to be doing. And again, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year if we don't see you beforehand, but we will have another live stream. And as always, let's see your scores go low.